yeah, every time I go live, it reminds me how much of a liar people are when they say they didn't realize they were live streaming while they were fucking or doing something else stupid. Like what's the dude from Club Shay Shay, the former NFL, um, sh- the zesty dude. I can't remember his name right now. Sorry, I'm not an NFL guy. But yeah, remember when he lied when he went on I? He was I haven't done IG live, but there's no live stream where you are not clicking a bunch of things. You got to click. First of all, you don't accidentally click a button to accidentally go live. Like that is an intentional process because you have to, you know, you have to not only do you have to hit that, but there's other pre-settings that you have to adjust to do before you go live. So don't ever believe any content creator that said they accidentally went live when they started snorting drugs or fucking hoes or something. It was intentional, very very intentional. I think the dude got tired of the rumors that he was gay, so he intentionally let people hear him banging some chick out to prove, look guys, I'm not gay. See, I accidentally had sex. I don't know. But anyway, what's up to people coming into the chat room? I'm just a contrarian, and today I'm just going to do a Ask Me Anything format, which I haven't done in a while. But I always like doing it because I this is when I connect directly with people in the chat room. They can ask me random questions and thoughts as long as they're family friendly type things, nothing inappropriate. Shane Legs says, ask you anything. Why does the majority of black people let the batteries in their smoke detector die? I'm tired of hearing all the chirps in black people's YouTube lives. Let me ask you this. Of all those black people, Shane, were they women? Be honest. Be honest. Were those mostly women? Because they're mostly women. I mean, Kevin Samuels used to make fun of that all the time. People would go live with Kevin Samuels and the fucking smoke detectors going off. He was like, don't you hear that? You don't hear that? She was like, hear what? He's like, listen, he's like, be quiet, listen. Derp, derp. Like, he was like, you need to that is a ratchet thing. Well, no, it's not necessarily. That is the call of a that is the call of the single woman. Usually in her 30s or 40s, that has hit the wall, Jack. That's what that like. I'm sure there's a few guys too, but think about it. If you're still here, reply to me honestly. Where there's mostly women in those live streams that had those smoke detectors going off with the battery dying, giving off the chirp that says, "Replace me, chirp, replace me, chirp, replace me, chirp." Like that's what that was. So what's up to everyone in the chat room again? I'm just a contrarian. Ask me any questions you like as long as they're family friendly, please. That was a good first question though. That was funny. Sorry, I'm about to kick off my shoes literally. So you can hear the boots coming off. But yeah, ask away. Women and teenage boys. Yep. Well, there you go. You answered it. Women and teenage boys. Guaranteed those women don't have husbands. A husband's not going to sit there and listen to a fucking smoke detector just going off. It drives me insane when I'm at my mother's house and the thing is going off. What's up, Carlton? He said women and teenage boys. Like, so basically, two groups that lack fathers and husbands, respectively. Actually, I'm gonna move over so I can be in my little YouTube poster. I'm gonna move over a bit. My hip is killing me. I don't know if from running or from kicking, but ow, need a massage. But shit's expensive. I gotta wait till I go back overseas, so I can only pay $30 for 2 hours. $30 for 2 hours. Not for the happy ending though. That's gonna cost you a little bit extra, maybe extra $10. And if you want the whole shebang, eh, another extra, maybe an extra 50. Of course, you could probably finagle that, but let me stop giving you guys bad advice. Shane said, I think it might be a responsibility and priority issue. I was raised in a lower class white family and I smoked detector chirp. Yeah. It's not it's not a racial thing. It's like you said, it's probably a responsibility and priority issue. Jennifer says you're nice. Thank you. Appreciate it. So yeah, guys, ask me questions. By the way, I am hip to a lot of nerdy stuff, but I'm not hip to sports stuff. So you can ask me sports questions, but I'm probably not going to have any answers uh, related to anything sports or anything like business oriented. But if you want to ask me things dealing with nerdy stuff or martial arts or traveling or different cultures or history or politics, I'm down for that. So, do you play Pokemon? I play Pokemon Go, although I'm quite tired of it. It's been, I've been playing it off and on since 2016. Like I played it up to like 2017 and gave it up for like 2 years. Started playing it again. Um, and now it's just I'm tired of it. I want to hit my level 50 and then I'm just gonna kill it from there because now it's going all the way up to level 80 and I'm not playing it to level 80 because it's not exciting enough because you they made it now where you're really not gonna have fun with it unless you put money into it and I'm just not putting money into a 10-year-old mobile game. So once I hit level 50, I'm probably gonna just stop playing. And I have a few Pokemon cards, mainly just the ones that you get at McDonald's because those tend to be the exclusive ones. Um, I was still thinking about getting the one that they were selling in Japan last summer, and all these Japanese people bought up a bunch of the Pokemon cards and then sold them online. But they were just like throwing away all the Happy Meals, so just the Japanese government got mad because you know, Japan is very tidy. It's not you don't see trash on the ground at all. I'm not even lying. So I've been there and I can tell you for a fact, even in Tokyo, you don't see trash. Except where because and also there's very few trash cans, so you have to literally walk around until you find a receptacle. So usually people would dump all their trash at the local convenience store like 7-Eleven or wherever. And so like the McDonald's were littered with food and wrappers from the Happy Meals because people were literally just buying them just to get the cards. And I'm guessing that's because in Japan you can't just get the Happy Meal gift separately from the meal. I guess you have to get the meal. Whereas here you can just get the gift separately from the meal. Of course, I think that depends on the franchise too, because I think corporate McDonald's you can buy it separately, but there might be some franchises individually where they require you to still buy the whole meal. So I don't know, but either way, the fucking Happy Meal's delicious. Why not eat it? What I'm guessing is they were buying tons of the meals, so they may have eaten the meal, but if you bought like 10 or 20 of them, you can't do anything with the food. But then again, that goes to show how good Japan is that you don't have homeless people because I guarantee here in Baltimore, if I bought like 30 Happy Meals just to buy the cards, I mean, just to have the cards so I could scout them online, there's a ton of homeless people in the city that I could have gave that food to, So that was way more of an answer than you probably wanted. uh, Shane says, "Okay, no more race theory. Are you currently watching any new shows?" Depends on what you mean by new. New for me, yes, but not new shows that just came on. Like I currently got into Tulsa King 2 weeks ago, so I'm on the third season of that now. Oh well, no, I'm watching the second. I am watching, so I'm watching the second season of Fallout right now. It was really good. Like I didn't think it was gonna be good because I'm not into video game shows or movies, but it's actually pretty good. And I've never played the game, so I don't know how accurate it is to the game, but the show is pretty good. Um, what else? I'm rewatching uh Sopranos uh because I realized a lot of the latter uh, um some of the episodes from the latter seasons I only watched on A&E, so I didn't get to see the unedited HBO version. So I'm rewatching all of Sopranos now, unedited. I'm getting back into Rick and Morty from last season because I missed it. Uh, I finally started watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm still catching up with a lot of anime like Black Clover and One Piece. Um, what's the other one I'm watching? Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't watch that when it first came out like 20 years ago because it was too silly for me. But now that I'm into it, and I even bought like I even bought an original Dark Magician card. So that that all got spawned from a Happy Meal toy that I bought like 2 years ago. That mix Hello Kitty with the Dark Magician. Then this year they mix Hello Kitty with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So yeah. Well, what other new shows? Um, I'm rewatching the original Star Trek series because I never watched all of it when I was a kid with my because I got into it with my dad. But this, the show was in the '60s, so I got more into the next generation than I got into the original series. So I'm finishing out that series since I never watched all of it, other than some episodes when I used to be with my dad. Um, what else am I watching? Um, like some stuff on Netflix. There's a bunch of Indonesian horror films I'm watching. Oh, Peaky Blinders. I'm watching Peaky Blinders on Netflix, and I'm rewatching Seinfeld for like the millionth time. So I think that's about it for right now. Jennifer says that was up because you were a small creator and so nice. Thank you, appreciate it. Do you watch Avatar? No, I never got into Avatar because like I, Avatar is probably more for millennials. It's not. It looks like it's a good show, but it was on Nickelodeon when I was in my 20s, so I wasn't gonna watch it then. And I've had younger friends say, "Oh, you should get into it." It's like it was like it's not anime, but it's like anime is really good. Um, but I haven't got into it. Star Wars definitely, but I only like the original trilogy. The prequels were okay. I saw all of those in the theater, but they weren't that good to me. I think millennials love the prequels. I don't because for me there's not like a real hero. Well, there's Obi-Wan, but for me Star Wars is always going to be about Luke Skywalker. So I just didn't care about the prequels because you have Anakin who's sort of like a mirror of Luke and what could have happened to Luke if he had chose the dark side, but Anakin was a fallen hero come villain, and so I never got into the prequels like that. Plus, it was just too CGI heavy. Um, and then the sequels were just pure trash. So I definitely didn't get into that at all. The Disney Plus series for Star Wars are all horrible, except for The Mandalorian. The first two seasons, the third season was so bad that it just kind of killed my interest in it. And all the other shows on Disney Plus were pretty horrible as far as Star Wars. Ahsoka was horrible. Obi-Wan was horrible. The story of the Book of Boba Fett was horrible. I didn't bother to watch the Acolyte. I think the Acolyte was the final nail in the coffin, which just killed the killed the brand. The only thing that was really good was Andor. Andor was like a diamond in the rough for Star Wars. For Disney Star Wars. Andor was really good. And so was Rogue One, which makes sense because Andor is sort of like a prequel to Rogue One. So Rogue One and Andor are the only thing that came out of Disney Star Wars that I really liked, other than the first two seasons of Mandalorian. Lauren Spall says, "God bless you, thank you." Stuck in the middle of music said, "I'm so mad, but I watched my five blue eyes white dragon cards." You watched them? You mean you got rid of them? What do you mean you watched them? Or you sold them? Is that what you meant? You sold your The only one I wanted was the Dark Magician card, though. And then but I also have the Yu-Gi-Oh cards to the movie. I don't have any of the Egyptian god cards though. I gotta check. I don't know. I don't think it was any Egyptian god cards. No, that was my friend who says he has the Egyptian god cards. But I have my Dark Magician card, and then I have the Yu-Gi-Oh the movie cards. Tulsa King is good. Yeah, it is. It's really good. I like something told me it would probably be good. I didn't think it was because it was on such a low tier streaming platform, Paramount Plus, and I think Paramount Plus and Pluto TV are going to become one streaming platform now. So probably so Pluto TV will remain free, and then what I'm guessing they're going to do is like Amazon, they're going to just have like premium content that you pay for, but the rest of the thing will be free. The way Amazon Prime is currently. So Amazon Prime folded in with Freevee. So now Amazon Prime has a lot of free content from when it was before it was merged with Freevee, but then a lot of the premium content you still have to pay for. But you get some of the premium content from past seasons for free. So like the boys and stuff like that. Mr. Ferry Nichols says, "Is Wakanda a real place? If yes, does it have oil?" Asking for a friend. No, it is quite fictional. I think you know that. Mm. Shane says, Shane Leg says, Fallout is pretty accurate to the vibe of the games. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I've never played it because I'm not a gamer, but I haven't heard anyone complain about it the way they've complained about that show that was on HBO with the little potato face looking lesbian girl that that was she look she played a good character in Game of Thrones, but when she grew up and she still looks like she's missing a chromosome, no. Second Mel says I started watching the show when I was 14 years old. The first three episodes is kind of childish, but yeah, this ish gets crazy for a kid show. Yeah, that's because it's too over the top though. Like I'm on the end of the fourth season, and they're on a train that falls off a cliff, and they're just like, "Hey, are you okay?" Like, word. So I'm sorry. What I don't know. Sort of. So it just took. I mean, it was already stuff in it. It was just far fetched, but that was just straight up Bugs Bunny tune physics right there. That they could have a train that goes off rail and falls over a literal cliff, and they just shake it off. They don't have any scratches, no bruises. Old man just comes up to him like, "Hey, I see you guys fell off, you know, on a train that fell off a cliff. You okay?" They was like, "Yeah, we wondering about that other guy." They was, "Oh, he must have wandered off somewhere." I'm like, "Word." So that's that's supposed to be realistic. Like I get is geared towards a younger generation, but come on, like you gotta fucking. I'm sorry, excuse my language, pardonne ma français, but you had a whole fucking train fall off a goddamn cliff, and they just brush it off like, yeah, we're okay. We just looking for the other guy that was on the train with us. And first of all, how is it only the three of them on an entire train? So were there other people and they just don't care whether they died, or are we to assume the entire train had just the three of them, excluding a conductor? Like Yu-Gi-Oh is off the hook. And then what? Then if that's not annoying, it's the whole you need to cheerlead for your friend. You need to believe in the power of belief so that the person can win the card game. You're not cheering hard enough. Like, man, suck my dick. Like, what are you talking about? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But Yu-Gi-Oh is crazy, yo. I didn't mean that to rhyme, but let's talk about the last Avatar is the greatest. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Shane Lake says, if you're in the anime, have you seen Moshiko Tensei? Jobless reincarnation, the MC, an absolute scumbag, but it's for character development. I just wish the writers toned down the MC's perviness. Well, that's anime for you. But you gotta remember, they don't make it for an American audience. They make it for a Japanese audience. They don't have the same sensibilities or level of cringe that we do for certain things. So, but I've never seen it. Shane says the Star Wars prequels suck. They turned my man Darth Vader into a whiny little bitch. Yeah, here. Like I said, it they and then what made it worse was that was a conscious decision by George Lucas, and it showed that he should not the movies he's involved with. He should not be the writer, director, and producer because as a writer, he's that is not his forte. That no, he should have stuck with directing and with the producing, and he should have kept the team. What what I think kept the original trilogy so much better than the prequels was that Lucas at the time had a team, so he had people to check him on some of his uh, on some of his more erratic ideas. But when it came to the prequels, it there was no one like there wasn't really a team. It was just him. So he was allowed to do with whatever he wanted with the prequels, and he just took it too far. He made it. It was too CGI heavy. The writing, the writing, um, the dialogue felt stilted. Um, it just it made Anakin like you said a whiny little bitch. Like I don't like the sand. Like oh god. And then the love story between he and Padme just felt so forced. So yeah, I get it. Oh, sorry, my AI moderator doesn't like foul language because it's not anything personal. I trained the AI moderator like that to try to keep things within balance, like the force, so that so that the live doesn't get demonetized. But I don't mind a few foul words here and there, but I try to keep it to a minimum to ensure that the live stream gets doesn't get demonetized through me repeating what someone might say. Oh, let me get rid of this guy for you. I know you guys are not don't want to deal with this autistic spammer, which I believe the person probably is as well. Yeah, he's gone or she's gone, whatever. It's more likely a he. Yeah, no, Carlton. Yeah, tune physics is a real thing. Like tune physics explains like the tune physics is like the or tune force. You is like what explains stuff like Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry, all the old Flesher cartoons like Mighty Mouse and you know um, Woody Woodpecker, Popeye the Sailor Man. Like these were all they all use tune force or tune physics they call it, either one. And it's like Yu-Gi-Oh is supposed to be somewhat grounded, but then it resorts to tune physics, and I'm like, it detracts away from the drama going on in the show. Plus, in the first season, especially, it was so overly emotional. Like every card game was like they were acting like they were saving the world, and it was not that important. So then it kind of ruins it for the later seasons where there actually is like incredible stakes at hand for the players like Yugi and his little entourage. But because the whole first season was so overly emotional over small stakes, it just made everything by comparison just seem like everything is it just made every episode seem like the world is constantly on fire unless they win the very next card game. So it's just too over the top sometimes. Not to mention Yugi's gay ass hair. I said it. Carlos says the Avengers would have trouble beating Toon Force. No, they really would. They it, watch what is it called, Celebrity Deathmatch or whatever. No, no, no. That's I'm thinking of the classic joint from the 2000s. Um, let me go to it. The 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 YouTube channel where they match up different characters, and every time there's a character from like pop like that comes from a Toon Force sort of thing, they always win. Um, because you can't beat the Toon Force. You can't beat it. Let me see. Who was Popeye? I forgot who. Or then there's some characters that are over the top, like Deadpool or the Mask. Well, the Mask does use tune physics, so oh yeah, it was Saitama from One Punch Man versus Popeye. And of course, Popeye wins because he's using tune. So it was a good matchup because Saitama is like has has a plot has plot armor that he will win no matter what versus Popeye who has the plot armor of Toon Force. So that was a good matchup, and Popeye did end up winning. Sorry if I messed that up, but the channel is called Death Battle. If people never watched it, watch uh, Death Battle. Death Battle is really good. That's You hear a little bit here, but that one was 4 years ago. Anyway, I don't want to play too much and get dinged for it, copyright. So, but yeah, Deathmatch is a fun YouTube channel to check out. There's also Bat in the Sun. So Deathmatch does it differently. So Deathmatch takes the 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 character's actual stats from whatever medium they're from, comic books, cartoons, movies, you know, and then matches then they put them with the other character, and based on that, that's the outcome of the winner. Now there's been a few controversial ones where they said that the people who made Deathmatch picked a favorite. For instance, there was Blade versus um, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and everyone and people were saying that Blade should have won. He was more powerful than Buffy. But then Buffy has like thousand like beyond just the movie and the TV show, she has a whole spawn of literature, like hundreds of like novels or whatever novels and I think comic books about Buffy that made her way OP that I didn't even know about. And so the people who made Deathmatch took all that and based it on that for how she won. But a lot of people were telling me, nah, bro, that they was like they just wanted her to win because they went and said no, Blade should have won because of this and that. And so I just have to be agnostic on it because I don't know much about Blade beyond the the Wesley Snipe movies and a few um times he guest starred in uh other stuff dealing with the Avengers on in cartoons. And since we didn't get to see the reboot, by the way, the Blade reboot has been canceled by Marvel, and I'm glad they did because they wanted to make him a gay single dad, and I'm not joking. They were gonna make Blade a gay single dad, and I'm like, yo, just because his name is Blade doesn't mean you have to make him into a Blade. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, but aside from again, like aside from a few controversial things like Blade versus Buffy, um, which sounds like a good porn, by the way. Blade versus the Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. That I'm I'm surprised no one has. I'm surprised. You know what? If you probably go deep enough into the porn archives, there probably does exist something like that. If not, someone needs to get on it. Shit, I'll star in it as long as it's a hot snow bunny. I'll do it. Uh, Renegade, where are you? Renegade. If that was someone who I'm joking. That's a content creator who who has guest appeared on here a few times, and I'm supposed to go on her platform one of these days. I'll let you guys know when I do, but I'm gonna go into her platform one day and be her guest for her live stream. But yeah, I might tell her that it's like I have a great idea. Blade versus Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. But hear me out. So hey, um, but yeah, but on the other hand, there's another great YouTube channel called Bat in the Sun. Now they Deathmatch is all animated, although they did do one or two uh live 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 performance battles, but Bat in the Sun is almost all completely live with with real actors, and they get actual celebrities like they had Stan Lee on there. Stan Lee, um, They currently gonna have the Black Power Ranger, the original Black Power Ranger, Walter. Forgot his last name. He's gonna be on there for this season. They had did a movie with Jason uh, Griffin, who was the Green Ranger, White Ranger, who died 2 years ago. They filmed a movie before he passed away, and that's why it took them 3 years before they put out any new content on the channel. But they're back with a new season. How they have people win on their show is by vote, because usually the people are so evenly matched that it just goes. It's a popularity contest. So whoever gets the most votes wins. And then sometimes, excuse me, but if it's a really close matchup, then they'll film an alternate scene with the loser winning as well, and then people can pick whether they like the alternate ending or the original ending. So um, usually, anytime it was Darth Vader always was picked as the victor. But when he took on Batman, it was so close that they filmed the alternate ending with Batman winning because it's Batman. Like so. Anyway, uh, Cause if Bugs would mess up Thor, he'll open a black hole and push him in it. Yeah, it wouldn't even be a contest. If you get Bugs Bunny versus anyone, he's going to use Toon physics. It's not like I said. You can't you can't beat Toon Force. Like as soon as you get any character, from the Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, Woody Woodpecker, Popeye, all that stuff from that era all use Toon Force, so they're always going to win. Like I say, it was close between Popeye and One Punch Man because, like I said, he has the plot armor of not being able to be beaten. So it was pretty close, but Popeye won just because he uses Toon Force. You can't beat Toon Force because it's ill. Toon Force is illogical. You can't beat something that's illogical. uh, Mr. Clams says, "Can you play a music? I have a recommendation." Not really, because I'm gonna get copyright if I play someone's music, so I can't really play people's music. And I see you were trying to make a joke, but didn't work. um, Not doing shout outs unless someone is gonna. If anyone wants a shout out, you need to drop it. You need to drop a super chat. I don't do shout outs unless people drop a super chat. Shane says, "Gay single blade. You can't make that stuff up." Yeah, I'm not. Unfortunately, and we know if you know the MCU for the past 5 years, you know that wasn't made up. You've seen how they pivoted to everything being forced diversity, like they pandered to forced diversity and inclusion into all their films after 2019 because they were so arrogant after the success of the Infinity Saga. They thought they could do anything they want. So Kevin Feige literally said back in 2019 that he was going to pivot to having mostly female and diverse superheroes. The problem is that wasn't what people wanted to see. They wanted to see the legacy characters that made Marvel big in the first place, because they tried that and it failed in the comic books as well. Back in 2012, they rebooted Marvel Comics and called it the all new, all different Marvel. And that's when they came up with the Young Avengers, which became the Champions, where they took all these derivative characters off from the legacy characters and just made a younger female or colored version of them or gay version of them. And all of those comics flopped from the all new, all different era. The only thing that did well in that era was the Miles Morales as Spider-Man, because he wasn't simply a Mary Sue character. He actually was well fleshed out by his creators, he had a hero's journey where all these other characters automatically came on the scene and they're just tough and bad. And we've seen that same thing in the movies with like She-Hulk and all these other characters where they were just automatically great from the jump. Like they didn't, there was no process. They didn't have to go through any, like their only problem was the fact that people didn't already realize how great they were. Like that was Miss Marvel. Like when Miss, that's why people hated Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel did $1 billion. It was a successful movie only because it was sandwiched between two of the most successful movies ever made at the time, Infinity War and Endgame. So it made $1 billion just off that alone. Plus, people wanted to go see it because they knew that was going to be the last time that they saw a live version of Stan Lee doing a cameo appearance in a Marvel film. So between it being right after Infinity War and that being the last cameo for Stan Lee, that's why everyone wanted to go see it. They really weren't clamoring to see whatever her name is as because people didn't like Captain Marvel and the all new, all different Marvel comics either because people loved her as Miss Universe, but when they turned her into I mean, sorry, Miss, when she was Miss Marvel, people liked her, but when they turned her into Captain Marvel, it, like they killed off the original Marvel, which was Captain Marvel. They killed him off. I think he died of cancer or something like that, and then she took his place, and then Kamala Khan took her place as Miss Marvel. I mean, yeah, as Miss Marvel. I like Kamala Khan, but her character is not popular at all. It's just not her little stretchy. Like we already have a bunch of stretchy superheroes. Even on Marvel, like we already got Mister Fantastic, and and there's two of them on DC. You have Plastic Man, and you have the Elongated Man. So we already had enough stretchy characters. So Kamala Khan was, it was boring. Plus, no one cared about the Inhumans. And when she originally came out, she was an Inhuman instead of a mutant, even though she was originally supposed to be a mutant. Uh, but um, they corrected that in the MCU and made her a mutant instead of an Inhuman because the Inhumans was never popular. But where was I getting to? But yeah, so they were arrogant and thought that people would literally watch anything that Marvel makes because of the success of Infinity Saga, and they start putting out all this trash. And we got to the point in 2019 where they was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do Blade with Mahershala Ali," but then they were having problems. Like all the directors kept quitting, producers were quitting, actors were quitting. Mahershala Ali was going to walk out at one point because of that stuff. Like they were going to make the movie about his daughter instead of about him. And it was basically going to be like him bringing her up. It's like no one wants to see Blade for his fucking daughter. They want to see Blade to see Blade, not his fucking daughter. Nor do we want to see a gay version of Blade. Like what the fuck? It's like they were going out of their way to keep trying to bring out all these new young characters to form a young Avengers team that no one wants to see on screen. No one wants to see this young Avengers or Champions team because at one point they stopped calling themselves the Avengers because they become they turn their backs on the Avengers, so they thought anyway they renamed themselves the Champions. But no one cares about young Avengers or the Champions from the comic books, and no one wants to see it on screen. So it looks like they scrapped that idea, and looks like that was part of why they were going to emphasize Blade having a daughter instead of the movie being about him. But but Mahershala Ali is still going to retain the character in a movie called Marvel Sons, which is like a team up of a bunch of like Marvel like anti-heroes and dark heroes type. So whatever. Yeah, I think Shane, you're back. Again, I didn't do that. That was my AI moderator. Just try to watch the language just because I trained it. Like I said, I trained the moderator to time people out for foul language just so I can make sure the live stays monetized. Carlin says, I bet Marvel would love to make a TV series about Morph from X-Men. They'll have him transforming into a woman throughout the series. No, they're going to keep him as a man. Like they already said in the X-Men 97, they came, they brought back 3 years ago, X-Men 97, with, because they still got, I think the second season will be out this year. I think it's going to be back this year. Um, they already saying that Morph was, um, LGBTQ, and then when he morphed into Jean Grey, he was sharing his actual romantic feelings towards Wolverine. I'm like, oh God, stop it! Why? Just leave Morph alone. Like we no, we don't want to hear his gay romantic feelings towards Wolverine. Like please, just, no, stop. Rod says, "Wow, it's great talking baseball of the channel." Unfortunately, I'm not. I don't know much about baseball. I've been to a few Orioles games. Um, what? Well, have I seen anyone? Yeah, just Orioles. I was trying to think if I went to a Cubs game when I used to live in Illinois, but I don't think so. Wait, did I? I don't know. I have that. I would ask my mom, but she wouldn't remember. More than likely, she has bad memory of things from like almost 40 years ago. Whether I do, but I don't remember going to see a White Sox or Cubs game. I saw them on TV a few times, but I think I've only been to an Orioles game. But so yeah, I wouldn't be one to talk baseball, uh, baseball stuff with you. Unfortunately, my grandfather did play in the minor leagues though. Anyway, guys, let's see what time is. I'm working with. Yeah, it's late. Need to get up early in the morning. So I'm gonna let this rock for a few more minutes since it seemed like most people left the chat room. See yeah. Let me make sure. I don't think I ever put all messages on. Yeah. Sorry, I had it was screening some of the. It was filtering some of the messages. It is not the afternoon. You must be on the other side of the world. So I'm about to go. It's midnight, past midnight here. Um, so with that, I thought I could rock an hour, but it's later than what I thought. That's because it took me longer to set up than I was supposed to. But unless someone else has a question, I'm gonna go. I'll give it a few minutes. And when I say questions, family friendly questions, because some of these autistic trolls don't know how to control themselves. They don't realize that just because you can say something doesn't mean you should say something. Well, if you're not autistic, you should mind what you're saying because you sound retarded. The people who troll late at night, if they're not autistic, they're neurodivergent, or they or they or they have a personality that's heavily leans towards the dark triad of personality traits, which is narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. I don't have a favorite football team. I'm not a big sports aficionado. Um, the sports I watch occasionally would be like boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, MMA. Pretty much it. All right. It says I have Down syndrome. Well, again, I knew you had some affliction because you're inappropriate. And joking about abusing the animal, I don't really think that's funny. I'm a dog lover, so not really funny. Anywho, with that being said, I'm about to go. Like I said, if people want to if people want to troll you, you don't have to pay money. Like drop it in a super chat. So, well, I mean, if you guys like this, we can do this again tomorrow. I can do another Ask Me Anything. Um, can you explain the last two after narcissism, please? Oh, I wasn't realizing you. So the dark triad of personality, guys, is based on social and personality psychology, where they've measured. So you have what's called the big five personality traits. You talk about extroversion, introversion, um, openness, all these other things, but there's a corollary to that, which is the dark triad of personality, which is again narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. Machiavellianism are people who will go through who will do anything to justify the means to an end. That's Machiavellianism. So they don't care whom they have to hurt or what they have to do to get to get what they want. That's Machiavellianism. Psychopathy is people who have a profound lack of empathy for other people. It doesn't necessarily mean they're violent. Um, most because most people hear psychopath, they're thinking of the Joker or the Hannibal Lecter or something like that. No, your average psychopath probably works in in corporate America. That is just like think for instance, think this is an exaggeration, but think of American Psycho with with Christian the guy that played Batman from the Dark Knight trilogy. He did American Psycho. That's a really good movie, by the way. That is an exaggeration of a psychopath, but psychopaths are all very common within you know the financial service sector. They pretty much lack empathy, and that kind of helps them do what they need to do to be successful in that world. So that is the dark triad, and I think narcissism speaks for itself. Although if you listen to a woman nowadays, every man is a narcissist that doesn't agree to what she wants to do. So we're not talking about that form of narcissism. We're talking about real narcissism, not just a woman who can't get her way. So that is the dark triad of personality. There's a competing theory that is a dark tetrad of personalities where they add a fourth one. That one is not, I think the evidence on that one isn't as hard pause as for the dark triad. So for the nonce until I'm told that the dark tetrad has replaced the dark triad, I'm just going to stick with talking about the dark triad. Um, and people who tend to troll content creators and go on social media platforms and go out of their way to be disrespectful in discussion threads tend to be high on the dark triad of personality. And the ones who are up late at night also tend to be neurodivergent or autistic because one, autism prevents them from having regular sleeping patterns, and two, they don't have a they don't have a mental filter the way normal people do. So there you go. And you already See, I try to be nice, and you see, he's already being ignorant. Well, you guys can't see it because the message is hitting, but he's already saying some dumb stuff. So I'm gonna just hide his Down syndrome retarded ass. Like, if he thought I was gonna give him sympathy because he's retarded, he's sorely mistaken. You're not gonna troll me just because you're retarded. I'm just gonna make sure you're not on here. If you're retarded, you shouldn't be on. You shouldn't be on YouTube anyway. Go go eat some crayons. Anyway, what's buy me a coffee? Buy me a coffee. Godspeed is it, it's just a way to reward content creators that you like. You can literally buy me a coffee. That's why it's called buy me a coffee. Um, just like how you can drop a super chat here, or you can go on there and donate to buy me a coffee to buy me a coffee because I literally do drink coffee every day. So um, that would help. Um, and on the platform for content creators, it just helps them earn money for their content creation. And for some people, they can switch it up instead of buy me a coffee, it can be buy me a beer or buy me a pizza. I don't drink beer. I drink coffee. So I'd rather you buy me a coffee. I'd rather you send me the money to buy me a coffee. I do eat pizza though, but not every day. So you don't need to buy me a pizza. Although I would greatly appreciate it. I would greatly appreciate it. Trust me. But yeah, I do. But I drink coffee every day. So that's what buy me a coffee is. It's a platform. You can click on it and check it out if you like. And if you like, you can donate money to send me a coffee. And unless the person does it anonymously, I'll usually shout them out on my streams for sending me money for buying me a coffee. I haven't had one send me buy me a coffee in a while, in about a year or so. But there was a British woman that used to do it all the time, so I appreciate her. Someone says your hair is gray and your stare is gay. That's because your mother sucked the life out of me. You can't say retard on YouTube. Literally just said retard on YouTube several times. What you don't know is that they've relaxed their standards last 2 years ago after the presidential election, because the presidential election showed that want to be able to be people value free speech. This is why they've allowed just Pearly things back onto YouTube after banning her from the platform. They allowed um, they allowed Nick Fuentes back on the platform because they value free speech, because they realized that by banning these people, they didn't silence them. Instead, these people started making a lot of money on Rumble and on X, formerly Twitter. So YouTube, in its wisdom, in its business wisdom, that is, realized that they should allow more free speech on the platform for its content creators, or else they can go somewhere else and make money that YouTube won't get. So that's why I can say retard, retard. You're welcome. M Bell. Yeah, I'm not gonna get banned, brother. You can suck my dick. Ban that. Why don't you ban this 9-inch dick all the way down your throat? Ban that. Let it rotate around too, so you get the taste all up in your gums, the way your mother used to, because she used to do it for the love of the game. She used to come out here to Baltimore. She sucked everyone up from Cherry Hill to Park Heights, and she didn't charge us. She just loved the game. She just needed the BBC in her life. I will have you banned now. You are just a 13-year-old troll. Go suck somebody's dick the way your mother used to. How about that? You're not going to ban anyone. Suck it from the rooter to the tutor. Because, your mother, she can suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Mm. You fucked up. Nigga, shut the fuck up. First of all, I don't even make money with this bitch. Carlton, before you ban him, Carlton, let him know who I am. He think I'm one of these other little YouTubers that's scared. Nigga, I can fight. I can fight. I don't give a fuck about you. I'm an army veteran, so I can bang those tools. You don't know. And I have videos on here showing my fighting skills. So anytime you wanna try it, go ahead and press the button. I'll find us someone who can arrange the fight. And everyone always backs out because I always tell them, when I fight you, I'm going to put it on video so that my audience can see the results. And that's when everyone backs out because they don't want the violence. Because, see, I'm savvy. I'm going to monetize my ability to beat your ass. Because if you're good at something, never do it for free, like the Joker said. So when I beat your ass, but of course you will never take the challenge. I'm going to monetize it on my channel for everyone to see. And you're not going to threaten me because I live in Baltimore and you're not built like that. You're not going to come to Baltimore. You're not built like that. None of you little none of you little bitch ass motherfuckers from Arkansas or wherever the fuck you're from will come to Baltimore. You're not. You're not built like that. One call to Park Heights. Anyway, the less said, the better. With that, you will be banned from the channel because you're just an autistic troll who's up late at night. So have fun trying to ban me, bitch. Anyway, moving on. I wasn't getting mad. I was clowning them. He said, "I don't get mad." Nah. Did you see me getting mad? No, I was just roasting his stupid ass. I have an Oh, good. I got to an hour. So yeah, they got me to an hour. All right, I'm gonna take this one question. I'm going. Hey, another question. Then I'm through. What do you think about the mayor? Mayor of which city? I'm in Baltimore, so I don't know if you're talking about uh the mayor in Baltimore, the Baltimore in DC, the new Baltimore in New York. Got y'all up at 5 a.m. praying. I'm joking, but I don't know which mayor you're talking about. So you would have to be more specific. Oh, Baltimore, Baltimore. Oh, I think he's a clown. Um, his girlfriend or wife or whatever is running some sort of charity that is a obvious like scam. He claims the streets of Baltimore are safe as he walks around with armed security with the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, a tether. Um, had the nerve to do a walk around Park Heights, Baltimore, to show how safe the streets of Baltimore are because he didn't want the president to send in the National Guard. And everyone I know was like, send in the National Guard. Like, um, so yeah, I think he's a clown. Uh, I don't like the hypocrisy of claiming a, a city is safe when you have the luxury of having armed security around you 24/7. Um, I think he's being delusional, trying to talk about how safe the streets of Baltimore are when everyone is fearful of their life. Because yeah, just because homicides have gone down nationally across every city. He didn't do anything unique to make that happen. On top of that, although homicide has gone down, um, quality of life crimes have gone up, and those quality of life crimes are what makes a city feel dangerous and uncomfortable for its citizens. It's those quality of life crimes, like theft. and car burglary and you know getting stuck up and all those sorts of things and druggies everywhere. Like it's so bad now. It was bad enough 6, 7, 8 years ago when every street level drug was being mixed with fentanyl, right? Now they're mixing the fentanyl with xylazine, and it's like, yo, like what is going on here? You're mixing fentanyl with xylazine. You like they used to cut the drugs with fentanyl. Now they're cutting the cut with with xylazine. When did you start cutting the cut? So I mean, yeah, I think the Baltimore mayor is a joke. I wanted my cousin to win the mayor office uh, 5 years ago, but he lost. So and Wes Moore is just he's just a liar. He lies about his military records. He lied about where he's from. Like the dude claimed he's from Baltimore. He was born in Tacoma Park, which is a suburb of Washington D.C., and then grew up in the Bronx, New York. He's he the only time he spent in Baltimore was in college, and that wasn't even 4 years because his first 2 years he did at another college, and then he transferred to Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore and finished his undergraduate degree for 2 years, and then he was a Rhodes Scholar. So then he then went he went to Oxford for I believe 2 or 3 years, and then came back to New York, where he started his own business before he became a politician. So, in what regards could you consider him a Baltimore citizen? He lied about that. Then he lied about his service record. He about earning a certain record that he said he didn't get because they got his name wrong on his records. Yeah, right. He later got that medal after years after the service, saying that they finally corrected it. He's a liar. I don't trust a governor that will lie about such petty things like where he's from or his military service. And there's been other military people, not just myself as a veteran. I'm a veteran as well, but there's been many other veterans who've called him out on it, saying that he's your typical politician that will lie about their military service, you know, to to gain favor politically. So he's disingenuous. Thank you for the gift. Uh, who sent me that one? I'm sorry, but yeah, thank you for the for the GIF that someone just sent. Emma said, "Yeah, he said you're from Baltimore too. He doesn't know what they messing with. Yeah, he really doesn't. That was just some. I guarantee the person that was talking trash was just a teenage clown claiming they're going to get my YouTube channel banned. No, you're not. I can literally say retarded because it is allowed now. I know what I'm doing. Like I said, once you started letting people like Just Pearly Things and Nick Fuentes back on a platform because they realized that they have that these people have an audience regardless of regardless of where they go, YouTube or Rumble or Twitter or wherever, they realize, well, I guess we should just have them here so at least you know we can make money off their audience as well. So and then they relax. I've read like as a YouTube partner, they send us these regular things letting us know, hey, we're relaxing certain things. You can see, like with the YouTube Shorts, where they now said you can. They didn't want people to use foul words in YouTube Shorts, and they said that you know you can now basically. So because at least especially not within the first 15 seconds or first 30 seconds, whatever of the video, they wanted you to refrain from that, but now they're allowing it. Like I said, they're more allowing more freedom of speech because they realize that there's a lot more people who aren't of a certain group. They, you know, they want everyone's dollars, not just half the country who bleed blue. So yeah. um, but yeah, so that's what I think about the Baltimore mayor. I think he's trash. Oh, okay. It's Fedora, Max Gaming. Thank you, Fedora, for the GIF, for the $2 GIF. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, bro. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna end it for the night. How often am I online? I try to do something every day. I used to stream every day, but it just got hectic. I'm gonna try to get back to that. But usually, if I don't drop a stream, I'm usually dropping something in my YouTube shorts about thoughts from of the day. Usually about something dealing with the news or politics or something whatever's trending. I'll probably make a little comment in my YouTube shorts. But I used to stream like every night, and that became arduous because I get up very early. So in any case, I I'm out. But yeah, I'm gonna try to. If I do stream, it's gonna be earlier. In the evening tomorrow or today, really now. But you get what I mean. So it'll be earlier if I stream. I just did it tonight because I was like, what the hey. And this is a little poster I got from YouTube as a partner. So it's funny that people think, oh, I'm gonna get your YouTube channel banned. Yeah, okay, good luck with that. The only way you could do that is you make something up, and then if you do make something up, they're gonna just the algorithm is gonna go through it and see if that is actually true or not. And the thing is, people don't know that if you make false accusations on a on a YouTube partner, that can get you kicked off the platform. And they folks don't know that. But if you make false accusations of a YouTube partner to try to get them banned, that can result in them getting removed from the platform. There you go. This is wow. Okay, we'll catch you around the bend. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm out, guys. Take it easy. Have a good night or a good day if you're on the other side of the world. Peace out.